Must be, yeah, must be.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my new show, Out of Nowhere. Been going about 3 months or 4 months, I think, since I first started. I came from Beacon of Light Radio, and before that, I was on Blog Talk Radio. That were about 2014. That's quite a few years ago when I first started out doing radio. Well, my guest today is Alex Lovelock. He's been on before, is Alex, a paranormal investigator. Um, he's done all sorts in his time. He's had lots of things happen to lots of paranormal things happen to him. Um, when a family member died, lots of things that all will be revealed today on the show. Can we please welcome Alex to the show? Hello there.
Hello, Bob. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. Nice to see you again, Bob.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Do you know, the strange thing
It's been
is,
a while. I think it's
I've got to tell you this.
about a year ago.
Yesterday, I saw an advert for tonight, and I thought, oh, I haven't been on Bob's show for ages. And then about 7 o'clock, you said, can I come on tonight? So there you go.
It is strange how things like that happen.
Yeah.
How did it all start for you?
What, all this
with
stuff?
The paranormal things happening to you.
Well, I've got bits of paper here because I remember most of it. It started when I was about 4 years old. I had a vision of a river and fields and a bridge, and I wasn't allowed on a bridge. Now, bearing in mind, I grew up in South London, and there was nothing like this in South London. Nearly all bomb sites and things like that in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, and I don't know. I just thought, is this heaven? And then, lots of things went on, and my mother passed the spirit when I was 13 years old, and then it really kicked off. And the things that used to happen to me was, I'm going to say, pretty frightening. And back then, you couldn't really talk to people about anything. It's not like today, where you can look on the internet. And, you were just sort of something wrong with you and you go and see a doctor and all that. But the things that happened to me was started to feel, I suppose, what you call a presence now. And a lot of stuff like this was going on, and you could hear voices, if you like. Anyway, when I got to 14, I got a job like we all did in those days, sort of a weekend job helping the milkman. And it was local. And he said to me, go and get some money off this woman across the road. And I knocked on the door, and the woman opened the door, and it was my mum. It was my mum. And it was about a year after she passed. And that was it, really. It was all sort of just took off from there. And I never went back to that house after that. So, and there was all sorts of stuff.
Tell us about every time you went home, table was made up.
Well, yeah, this went on. I got pushed down the stairs once, not by my mum, but it's another story, I think, by something who was in that house before. I was about 17, and I went home for lunch one day. And it's only me and my dad there. And we both went out at the same time in the morning. And I got home, lunchtime, and there, the dinner table was laid out. Plates, cups, sort of milk. Now, me being a 17-year-old didn't bother about sitting at a table,
Yeah.
So it was very unusual. And I think it's probably my mum saying, I'll teach you But that was when it started to get a bit heavier. You know, I couldn't explain it, and well, nobody could. And it just went on from there, and used to hear raps and taps, voices, and everyone thought I was a bit loopy. And then my guitars would strum, and in fact, my guitars that I've got here in the other room, I've come out of this room from doing one of my shows on a Sunday, and the strings have been undone on the guitar, and that used to happen as well. So the strings would come undone. It's just bits of everything, really, Bob. But it's just so much happened. But unfortunately, there was no one to turn to.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's a case like that. You don't know who to talk to about it.
Not back in the 60s. No, in the 70s, no. And you try and talk to people, they just say, oh, you know, something, you need to see somebody. But this went on and on and on. And things thrown at me, all the usual things of a haunting. Anyway, I was told as a kid a man hanged himself in the back room, I think, of the house. This is where it all started. Well, I was about 17 years old. And I knocked on the door one Saturday, and my old man said, get down here. I said, oh, what's the matter? CID want to see you. What?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God, what have I done now? Because you always get blamed for something, you know. And what they did, they had a phone call from a newspaper and said there was a body lying under the floor, our house number. But there was obviously different roads. I'm not going to mention the road because the people living there now in London, but they come to us first because he said, you've got the worst reputation. So, and now I believe that I think that what was happening to me was this man there could have been somebody under the floorboards, because it was definitely a man haunting the place. Anyway, that went on and on and on and on. And I've got to be honest, there was times my dad used to go out playing drums, and I was often in the house on my own. I'd be pinned to the chair. The most frightening things ever. Looking back on it now, you think, well, it probably wasn't that bad, but it was pretty scary. And that was the start of it, Bob. That was it. And I didn't realise it was going to carry on to this.
And does it still happen today then?
Oh, God, yeah. I've got it all the time. And I don't know why I'm sitting here laughing, because when we come off of here, because I live on my own now, you know. But yeah, I've got my guitars, because I was, as you know, musician, bands and that. And I've come out of here one evening, and you can't just turn those, you know, you have to turn them by hand. Yeah, I'll get stuff here all the time, and not as bad, but it still happens, yeah. Still happens. And that was it, really, and that went on and on and on until this day. But looking back on all this, was it to get me ready for this mediumship? I'm wondering now. See, now I'm looking back and thinking about it. Was it to get me into what I did do? I don't do the mediumship anymore. Because I found it quite easy to do what I did. Maybe I'm making excuses for being haunted. I don't know. Did you experience visit?
I'm going to say there's a question here from
Ursula.
Bob, do you experience spirit visits in the past? You're so full of knowledge. I know I did in the past. What about you?
Who, me? Or Ursula?
Yeah, you.
Me? No, I did experience that, say, when I was younger. So much went on, Bob. So much went on. And I had witnesses to some of this as well. From, you know, when the friends used to come around. You have witnesses, so it wasn't just me. But then, in 1975, me and a friend of mine, we went fishing Littlehampton. And it was, we, as usual, didn't catch anything. And at that time is when they had the UFO sightings at Clapham Woods. I don't know if you remember that. And there were animals disappearing. There were people disappearing, including a police officer. And I said, come on, let's go to Clapham Woods. And that is when everything started. That is really when everything started to get to me, I suppose. I had a strange experience in there. That was in the, I think that was in the New Year's Eve, 74. And in 75, I looked, about August, I saw my first ever UFO, which was outside where I lived. As I say, but you don't get many UFOs in South London, mate, because they'll have the wheels off the thing, you know what I mean? It's the best place to be. That's a great place to live, actually, was. And then I think about a night after, 2 or 3 nights after that, I was in bed. I could hear someone walking up the stairs. And then when I got attacked physically by something. And so now I've not only got the spirits and the spooks, I've got the ETs, if you like. And this is all going on all at once. It was mayhem. And I'll be honest, I was probably not very well for about 4 years after that, mentally, because it was just.
Mentally.
Yeah, it was just.
I know I've had activity with spirits in the house many a time where I've had voices during the night calling out my name.
Mm.
I've been the bed's been jumped on the end of the bed. I woke up and thought, what the hell is that? And then it felt like young people jumping on the bed. And then when I come round, I think, oh, it's gone. I've had people lying outside of me.
Yeah, I've had
thinking,
that.
What's that? I'm touching it and thinking, well, there's only me in bed. I live on my own.
Yeah, I'm saying, where did I go last night?
And then I've heard knocking on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning. I think, there's nobody here. Why would somebody knock on my door? So I've gone to the door, opened it, thought, it only leads to stairs. I'm in the top flat. And I know Neil, who's in the middle flat's been away. So Paul will come up at middle at night and to knock on the door.
Oh, you're breaking up there, Bob.
He'd walk straight in forward. So I know my mom's around me quite often.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got.
She protects me. People do. A lot of people, but it's not. It's either a loved one coming around you, yeah, to see if you're all right or not.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know why that was. Another question for Alex. As you believe in the other paranormal happenings like aliens, do you always know what is causing the activity?
No, I don't. I can't. All I know is that both things kind of happened more or less at the same time. And trying to think how I can explain this. After the ET incident, I'll say it's the ET incident at Clapham, as I say, it was a lot. It affected me for some reason. And then I got attacked, like a physical attack. They call it a psychic attack, but whatever it was, it's not very nice. After a few years, I went to a spiritualist church, thinking they might help me, but obviously they didn't. But I got involved with the mediumship, And I started to do, the usual thing, the meditation. Anyway, I thought I don't really need this stuff. And what happened, I started to work for the spirit world. And they used to appear to me, so they'd appear behind the sitter, and I could then tell you who it was and so on and so forth. And as they got stronger, and I started to go to Rendlesham Forest then, by the way, about 12 years ago, where the UFO landing were in 1980. And then I found that the two were like combining themselves. I can't explain how or why. And I'm not going to sit here making things up. I can only tell you what's happened to me and the facts. And I've got things that happened to me here. I've got it written down, things that have happened to me in that forest. But I think, looking back and thinking about it, I think it's like maybe combined. Can you understand it, Bob?
Yeah, I can do,
It's like, yeah. And I went in the forest, and there used to be I've got it written down because I never remember her name. But I used to go there and I took some photographs. I can't show them to you on here because I don't think on StreamYard, I think I have to send the photos to you, don't I?
No, you can put them on there. Well, you can show it anyway. You can show it in front.
Okay. Well, look, if this comes up, I'm going to show you this.
Yeah, I can click on that.
Can you click on that? Ah, right. This is Rendlesham Forest.
Yeah, I can do, yeah. There you go.
Now, the camera I didn't actually see this, but the camera did. And if you look at that, I don't know if you can bring it up, you've got like a monk there.
I can see that.
Yeah. On that tree is a woman's head. And behind the tree is like a little alien with the little eyes. You can see his black eyes. But you can't see it very well on here, but you can when you bring it up. And this is what kicked it all off in Rendlesham for me, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. And if you take that one down, Bob, I'm just going to find another one. Find the other one for you. I'm used to doing this myself, and I keep forgetting I can't.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
No, with the pictures. I don't know if I've got the other photos on here. Then there was this creature as well. It was in the same, that hairy thing. It was laying across the track. But that was also can you see that with its eye and the tail, and that's all furry. But that's in the same photograph. That was joined on with the monks. I just separate the photograph to make it bigger. So we've got all this going on now. So I've got the spooks at one side of me, and now I've got this going on. And I don't know what that is. Someone told me it was pareidolia or something, which is rubbish because we can all see it.
Paranoia.
That's it. And in front of that are the lights of Rendlesham, of the airfield, of the airbase, right in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not UFOs or anything like that. But I've been trying to figure out what on earth that is for, I don't know how many times, how many years, a long time. And nobody can actually tell me what they think it is.
And about Rendlesham, I know Derek used to talk about monks. It's been monks in the forest in Rendlesham. Yeah, Derek did.
Yeah. I'm looking through some notes here. Yeah, because I used to spend a lot of time there with Derek, and but I've never seen that before. I've been there. I was there last week actually with Andy, and I've never been able to get those pictures again. But as we walking around the forest, you walk in and going down to the UFO landing site. I was there with Andy Codes. You know Andy Codes, and a couple of other people on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And there's been no activity in that forest for about a year. And then we were standing there minding our own business, and we heard like boots coming along. Not just one boot, boots. And we all heard this. So I take it things are maybe picking up again. But further around the forest, I don't know if you can get any more pictures up, can I? Let me have a look. I don't know what gone here. I haven't got that many on here. I haven't got that many on here, actually.
You can show another one if you like.
Yeah, no, I haven't got the one. One I really wanted to show you was my daughter. But you can all see her on my Facebook page anyway. Right. But as you walk around there, I used to get a girl in the camera, and she had black eyes. There are young children in America, I think they call them like black-eyed kids. They
yeah.
And I got her very clearly, and I thought, well, I'm going to find her name. And her name was Christina Blakeney. But I've like looked for her in the records. I can't find her, but it's a Christina Blakeney. And see her quite regular, but they've cut a lot of the trees down now, and all this has gone. That part of the area has gone now. It's flattened. So, yeah, there was a lot going on there. So, whether it's to do with like the mediumship, psychic abilities, whatever you want to call it, I was getting so much stuff down here, and so was the camera. But explanations, Bob.
I know Derek used to talk about it regular. Yeah, he used to talk about it regular. What he'd seen down there, aliens. He said, you know, I'd be just going out at night time and seeing these creatures.
Yeah,
I think Alex has got a question for you. Hi, Alex, question. Are you able to develop some level of psychic and spiritual ability with the right training?
Yeah. I'm a bit, this business with training, I'm not too sure about that. I think we've all got
anyway. Yeah, I would say so, Alex. Yeah.
We've all got it somewhere.
You've got to be able to.
Yeah, the trouble with the training is, see, I couldn't do that.
To be able to different things, but you can learn.
Yeah, I think some people. I know I probably sound I'm being a bit sort of negative or stroppy. I'm not. But you go for this sort of training, what they call training, and I think that kind of blocks your mind. Sometimes blocks things out because they want it done their way. Whereas I was getting this without any training, and
same here.
I did sit for a while doing the training, but I'd rather go my own way. And I do feel that we've all got some kind of gift. Sure we have. I'm sure we've all born with some kind of psychic abilities. I don't know if you would agree, Bob.
I do. I think everybody's got the opportunity to develop themselves. You can either go to classes or do it yourself. I learned a lot myself. Rebecca's got a question for you, Alex. Do you have any interest in cryptics? Have you heard of anyone claiming to have had an encounter with one?
Yeah. On my channel, don't mind me you telling about my channel, do you, Bob?
No.
On a Sunday night, it's called The Lounge 963. I have some guys from America, and he amazes me, for this when he comes on, and he's actually sat in his tent when he's had Bigfoot around him. And he's kind of mingled with Bigfoot up in Michigan. And the stories he's told me, if you go on my channel and look through my videos, there's 180 videos on there. Bob and Dorinda Stewart. Bob Stewart, his name is. Bob and Dorinda. And stories he's come out with is absolutely phenomenal. And I've in Rendlesham Forest, you see, or not just me, some of us used to see, I used to call them shadow people, but I'm not sure now. And you see maybe 6 or 7 of them running through the trees.
Yeah.
But Bob was saying that Bigfoot, not just in America or wherever, we've got them everywhere. Wherever there's animal wildlife, deer and stuff like that. So maybe what we saw were some kind of cryptid.
Yeah. Tell us about your near-death experience.
Oh yeah. Well, I've had 2 actually, but one was when a truck caught fire and I couldn't get out of it, but I did get out obviously. But the second one was in 2021. I didn't realise at the time, but I contracted that COVID. This is what they told me anyway. And I didn't really. I felt myself going down. You know, I can't explain. Started to feel a bit ill, and I had this cough, but I didn't really think too much of it. Anyway, after about 2 weeks, I suppose, and this is really hard to believe, but it actually happened. I was sitting on the settee, and I'm obviously getting quite weak. And I could see, like, I'm not going to say a tunnel, but a tube to the left of me. And in that tube were people, spirit people. But sitting next to me was a man. And I found I called him Peter. And he was, I would say, Middle Eastern. I didn't see his face properly, but he was quite sort of tan, darkish. Big. I would have thought he was kind of Middle Eastern gentleman.
Yeah.
But he was dressed like we are. Anyway, this went on for about 4 days. And it does sound a bit sort of far-fetched now, but Peter sat with me for 4 days. And I was obviously getting weaker and weaker. And I think it was on the Saturday or the Sunday, Peter vanished. But there were 4 other people who appeared in my bungalow as well.
Right.
And they were like communicating. And I was obviously getting weaker. This was on the Sunday. Well, next thing I know, it was Monday morning. And my youngest daughter, drove 130 miles to get to me. But as I come round, there's a paramedic there. And apparently I had 10 minutes of oxygen left. That's all he had.
Oh my God. That's all left.
So they got me down to the hospital. Oh, I didn't know what was going on, to be honest. And they got me in the hospital and they put me in the intensive care. And this is the strange bit. The next morning, the nurse said to me, I won't tell you the actual words she said to me.
Yeah.
But she said, you put that up me last night. I said, what are you talking about? You know, what? You know, I was well, dopey, you know. She said, well, there was a little girl hanging around here yesterday. Well, I know there's a little girl hangs with me anyway. Spirit girl.
Yeah.
I went, oh, really? Well, the next morning, I spent another night in intensive care. The next morning, another nurse come to pull something out of my arm, and I jumped like that. And she said, you thought we were aliens. I thought, what on earth has been going on? I've been out of it for 2 days. So whether it's me talking in the sleep, wherever I was or whatever planet I was on. And that happened. So when they took me into a room, because they didn't put you in a ward with COVID, and they said I had COVID. And the nurse came and said, what is it you do? I said, I don't do anything. Yes, you do. You do something. I said, I don't. I said, well, I've got a YouTube channel. That was it. They're watching my YouTube. And they used to come in and ask me questions. You know, I quite enjoyed being here. I was in it for 10 days. I thought, I like this. Looked after, fed and watered, you know.
Getting fed and watered.
Someone, yeah. And when I left, the doctor said to me, he said, you're one of the most amusing patients I've ever had. So I thought,
Is that what he said?
That's what he said, yeah. Most entertaining patient, he said, I've ever had. So there you go. So thanks to the aliens and the spirit girl, whoever else, we liven the place up, apparently, you know. But
did you?
I don't know.
You know, when you saw that tube, when you saw that tube, do you feel as though you were going into it then?
Oh yeah. I'm not. Yeah, and what it was, and I'm not. To be honest, Bob, I thought at the end on the Sunday night, I want to go in there because I felt so ill. But I thought to myself, this sounds stupid, doesn't it? I thought, how am I going to get in here 14 stone odd? How am I going to get in that tube? And then I thought, well, it don't matter, does it? Because it's only my spirit going to go in there.
Yes.
Yeah, all this, I don't know what I'm talking about, is that people think I'm completely barking, I'm sure.
No, it's interesting.
This was all going on. And all going on. And I don't know. As I say, my daughter got to me, the youngest one. And I know on the Friday night, a couple of friends tried to get me in an ambulance. I said, no, get away, go away. I was getting very aggressive. And I'm not an aggressive person.
No.
I don't know. I was really, I don't know. I can't explain. I didn't know I was that ill. Can you understand? I didn't know I had COVID. I didn't know what I had. I had a cough. And but there again, if you went in with a broken toe, they tell you had COVID at that time, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
anyway,
they did, yeah.
They took me in. They took me out the intensive care. Am I all right for time? Am I yapping?
Oh, got loads of time. Loads of time.
They got me in this room in intensive after the intensive care. Put me in this bed, and as I looked to my left, I saw a man in an old-fashioned bed, none of my own beds used to have years ago, and he had pajamas on, something I don't possess. So I thought, well, I know who that is. And he had the name Lovelock on a piece of cardboard round his waist, round his middle. A spirit man.
Oh, how strange.
Thought, wow, what's going on here? What happened? The doctor came in. That was it. He'd gone. Never see him again. Never saw him again. And he looked like something from, like in the Second World, the concentration camp. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, bloody hell, what's going on here, But after that happened, just before it, in the October of 2019, I was out working at my mate's place, and I just said, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore, mediumship. I said, because no one wants to listen to what I have to say. All they want are their messages. That's all they want, No one wanted to know the ins and outs. Then 2020 came and lockdown, didn't it? I think February, March. And I did a couple of gigs under the table, how you do. And well, if you're a little bit dishonest, I suppose. But anyway, so I did a couple of little things. And when I come out of hospital, I came home and then on Christmas Day, I drove to my daughter's, one of my youngest daughters. It's about 100 odd mile away, as I said. And I checked with the hospital, and the doctor said, look, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You've got emergency numbers. You're fine. You haven't had a heart attack. I mean, just go. Do you good. So I went down here. I was sitting in her living room, and everyone else was in the kitchen doing the Christmas dinner stuff, And a man, spirit man, stood in front of me, and he showed me in my mind all these mediums, live ones, not dead ones, live ones,
Yeah,
And
like
he
once.
said, yeah, and he said, we don't want you associating with them anymore. And I've never since that day done it.
I know you told me that as well.
Yeah, did I tell you that
You
before?
said you were told.
I was
No, but
told.
you said you was told. That's it.
That's it. Now I don't know why. And then I started doing my channel of things, and I'm still doing bits and pieces. And then I look around at the state of this country and this world, and someone said to me, it was Kathy Cogliano, I think you know Kathy, don't you? She said
Yeah,
to
I do.
me,
Yeah.
you're being protected, she said. And looking at what's going on in this country now with all the problems and the stabbings and God knows what else. And I obviously travelled about doing my stuff. Maybe that's what they saw the future and thought, we'll get him out of this. And maybe other people as well. Because it's just.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, that's true. Rebecca's
did I?
just saying, did you ever research the name Lovelock?
Yeah. Well, the strange thing is I was adopted. And my name was Grant. And I went to Inverness last year. And that's where, according to my DNA, my family, Grant family, came from. Inverness. So,
Oh, right.
and I have to tell you this, I was with my ex, we went together, and I said to her, I belong here. But I didn't know my family came from there. My DNA told me a few months later. I felt so at home in this area. The name Lovelock, no, I have kind of looked it up. I don't know if there's any sort of
Because
medium.
it is a strange name.
Yeah, well, I'm a strange bloke. I've had a strange life. I can tell you. And yeah, it's been a really bit wacky. Not just the spirit and spooks and stuff, but um, my grandmother, my biological grandmother, was a medium. But what I called a proper medium, that's sitting there with a say on the table, physical stuff. Because I got
Yeah.
involved with the physical mediumship, didn't I? I do miss that. I do miss doing that. So somewhere along the line, I picked it up from my grandmother, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but no, I haven't really researched the name. Should do.
I think you ought to do. I think you'll get a few surprises.
I'm sure I've had a look
That's
over
what we'll do.
in the past. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But
you go quite regularly to Rendlesham then?
I'm there all the time. I don't know if we're maybe going tomorrow actually. Um, when I first started going there, maybe must be 12 years ago now. I've told you this before, but I'll tell everybody else. I was with
Yeah.
Derek Savory, and there was
Yeah.
about maybe 10 of us. Some people I knew, and we got into what they call track 12, and it was dark, and a voice said to me, a man's voice as clear as a bell, not in my head, this is outside my head. He said,
Yeah.
would you please leave the ancients and aliens alone? Like that, very forceful. What I'm telling you, I was on crutches at the time, so I bust my leg. And I'm telling you, Bob, I was out of there. I ain't staying here. Anyway, a few weeks, about 6, 7 weeks went on, and I thought, it was a Monday afternoon, I think, and I thought, I'm going to go down that forest on my own. So I got in the car and I was sort of wobbling around, and I thought, I felt quite comfortable. And then things started to sort of pick up in the forest. And that's where I saw that young girl, the spirit girl. Then I was seeing these, what I call shadow people. We had things thrown at us. Derek used to have hot stones thrown at him, by the way. And the night before I went there, the night before I went there, Derek's brother was attacked by some entity. But there's a photograph I'd love to show you, and I haven't got it on here. And I'd love people to look at it. I haven't got it on here. it's my daughter. She's standing next to the tree, which is facing. She's looking at me. Over the back of her is what they call Capel Green, where one of those craft landed. So you're looking now Orford Lighthouse. But behind my daughter is a figure in some kind of helmet. And my daughter's gone all blurry, the picture, and I haven't got it on here. Can you believe it? And I've tried to replicate that picture for the last 12 years, but on my own, taking selfies or with people, that figure has never come back again. I'll have to send it to you. And you have a look and tell me what you can make of it. But
great. Steph's just done a quick research. Steph's just done a quick research. Says a quick research on Alex, English nickname from English Lovelock, pendant lock of hair, specially arranged to fall over the shoulder or ear. Lovelocks were cut in a variety of fashions.
Well, I never knew that. Mind you, I used to have all that hair, didn't I, years ago? I used to have all hair, long hair, believe it or not. That might be, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Well.
But Rendlesham, Derek used to talk about, he went with his brother once, and he was told not to go as well by Brenda Butler. He said, Derek, don't go down. I don't want you to go down. And things happened then. He said, I saw these monks all over the place.
Yeah.
And I mean, big monks as well.
Yeah.
15 foot tall. And he said it was scary.
I've never felt, well, I suppose I had felt uncomfortable in there. I had a bit of an experience in the archery, where the archery club is, because I belong to the archery club. And the same feeling come over me as it did in Clapham Woods. This sort of, everything went surreal, this feeling, this really strange. Yeah. I'll tell you what it is, that feeling. I was watching an interview, a documentary about Peter Green, Fleetwood Mac. Now, I spoke to Peter a few times when I was, and he was drink the spike with LSD. The trip he was on, I've never taken drugs, believe it or not, so I don't know what it's like. But listening to the effect this drug had on him was similar to how I felt in Clapham Woods and Rendlesham. Everything is surreal. It's like a dream state, if you like. And if anyone can explain it, because I can't, psychiatrists might be able to. And I've had that a couple of times in the forest. It's a really strange feeling, and I would say it's similar to taking that stuff. I don't know if anyone can explain that.
I think and it happens back on in a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so anyone that knows anything about
playing around with this tonight, government around again. Goes now and then.
What, the government? Yeah, it could be the government, couldn't it? But it could be our friends playing about, couldn't it?
Yeah, yes. It does happen. It does happens like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's I think it sometimes through consciousness things happen in your mind as well.
Yeah. Well, certainly, I suppose, like the mediumship, really, because most of that is in the mind, isn't it? Comes in the mind. But I have to say that, with the mediumship and working them in the forest, I say working with them because I feel we do work with whatever's in that forest.
Yes.
But the only time I was there a few months ago, and I put it on my Facebook. I'm walking along where the alien craft is. Have you ever been there, Bob? Have you ever been to the?
No, I'd love to go.
Well, there's a model of a craft. Well, as you go past there, there's a track that runs across the top of it. And I was there a few months ago, and I'm really annoyed. I didn't have a body cam. I had my camera, and a woman was gliding across the track ever so quick, like that. What? So I've tried to go after her, and I thought, well, if she jumped the fence, I'm going to see her running towards Capel Green, or I'm going to see her running through Vanished. And all I could, it was so quick, but she had like it was an old-fashioned dress. But nobody could run in those woods, Bob. You couldn't run in there because you're going to go flying. There's all, roots and
I can imagine
bumps,
so. Yeah.
And as I'm talking about her, I'm starting to get ever so cold around my legs. So there's obviously someone here having an earwig and listening. And that was only about 2 months ago, I suppose. So there's still bits and pieces going on down there. But I know Derek had all sorts of things going.
I know before Derek died, like, he found a place where he could heal people.
Where he got banned,
found this place where he could protect people. Yeah, he could give them some healing. And then he said, I'll do it for ages. Then one day, an helicopter came over top of me. Didn't think no of it. Next time I went down, they'd roped it all off the area where he was doing his healing.
Yeah, he got banned from there, he told me.
Yeah. How strange is that?
Yeah, because the helicopters used to see him quite a lot coming round. I'm not going to go into too much, but I was, how can I put it, chased out of there once. They don't want you. There's some reason they don't want you creeping around there too much. I don't know what it is. And they've stopped the overnight parking. You can't go and stay there overnight anymore. So who knows?
A friend of yours has just sent you a message. Just sent you the photo of your daughter by the tree in your messenger.
Oh, that's what Elaine sent that. Oh. Wait a minute. Would that be in my what we're talking on? It would be, wouldn't it? That messenger. Oh. Oh dear, but I'm frightened of touching this in case it all goes up the creek. So we're on Messenger, aren't we? And
it'd be your message. The messages you get when somebody sends you a message in Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What we're on now, but I'm frightened to touch anything in case it goes wrong. Let me have a quick look. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let me open another tab, Bob.
Yes, that's a good idea. Open another tab.
Oh, I'm not really an expert on this. See if I can get this thing.
That's fine.
I'd like people to see it. I really would, and get some feedback on it, actually. Come on, messages. What's going on here tonight, Bob?
That's what happens sometimes. Things go berserk.
It's the other Elaine sent a bit. Right, she sent me the picture. What do I do with it now? I don't know how to get this across, Bob, to be honest.
Don't matter.
Get it across.
You can send it to me and I'll put it on my Facebook later so everybody can have a look at it.
Okay. Yeah, I would love people to have a look at it and tell me what I think. It's in black and white, this one, but I really would like people to see it, see what they can make of it, because we've not been able to sort it
I
out.
know Brenda used to talk about Rendlesham as well, Brenda Butler. All things what had happened down there and about the craft landing and all that business. Because she wrote a book, didn't she?
Yeah.
Brenda did.
Oh, there's so much going on there, or there was so much going on. It's gone very quiet now, but you know,
she's going to send. Yeah, she's going to send it to me now.
Oh, okay. But I'll tell you what's happened. I've got bits written here about Rendlesham. This is what I've had: women screaming, men shouting, like an invasion. Track 12, shouting, screaming. Nobody else heard that. We've had growling, breathing, shuffling, groaning, young girl's voice.
Oh my God!
And have you got it?
Oh God, yeah, I have, yeah. Let's try to see what I can do with it. Serve them forward. Yeah, you carry on. You carry on doing that.
Just after where you saw that hairy creature, I walked down to them. There's a dip, and 2 German airmen appeared, and I don't see him in my mind. I see his spirit. What they call it? Like I'm looking at you,
right?
And these 2 German airmen were there, and they said, "We're sorry for what we did and what we were going to do. We were flying a, oh God, since I've had COVID, my memory's awful. God, what's the name of that plane they were flying? Anyway, I'll think about it later on. But one of these the aircraft that was flying actually crashed near Woodbridge. A friend of mine, a few weeks ago, it was Andy Coes as well, I think, actually saw a German.
Oh.
Right. So it's not just me that's seen them. And
no.
And also Derek, at the time, he used to have he had a bench up the top of this. If anyone ever goes there, you'll see it. It's like a big crater, actually. And he used to have a chair up there, a table and that, but they moved it for some reason. So it was quite an active area. But I think if you're tuned in, or don't have to be tuned in, if you're there and it's I suppose the atmosphere and the circumstances are right, you will quite possibly hear or see something in it. If any of your that neck of the
many people have said that as well. Some people say, do you think more people are open to it then?
I think we're all I think in a way we're all open to it, aren't we? If you let it happen. But it's a fantastic place. It's not as busy as it used to be, but it's still active.
Yeah, I can imagine so. It's just a strange place to be. I've heard so many times, and loads of people have been and said, "What a strange place to be."
I love it in here. I really do. And I walk around on my own. But I was down here one day with a friend of mine. He's not with us now, unfortunately. And we got lost. And went to wherever we went to, and we met a woman. And she said, "Hello, where are you going?" So we're trying to get back to the car park, don't know where we are. I said, "Where are you going?" She said, "Oh, I'm just going to my house." What, in the middle of the forest? Anyway, she said, "If you turn right," she said, "you'll come to the house where you hear the voices." With that, she's gone, vanished. And we never did find a house with the voices, but I don't know where she came from, but blowed if I do.
Strange where things turn up like that.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, it's worth a try. But don't go down there expecting it.
Oh no, I wouldn't do. No.
Have you sent me a photo now? No.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, that photo. Yeah, I remember in lockdown, I was walking near Danes Dyke with a friend of mine, and on way back, this woman passed me in a fur jacket, smoking a strange cigarette like from the 70s. She were all dressed up as though she'd going dancing at night time with a corgi dog. And I thought, that's a bit strange. Anyway, she passed us. Anyway, we let her turn the corner, and as we went round the corner, she vanished. Gone.
Strange, isn't it?
And I walked further down, saying, come on, let's rush a bit. I want to find out where she's gone. Because when she turned that corner, only way she could have gone was over top of cliffs.
And they look real, don't they? They look solid.
Yeah, she was solid.
Yeah.
Because she was smoking. I could see the smoke. So we've rushed down a little bit, gone, completely vanished, completely gone. You know, and my friend who I was with, Kate, she said, I've never believed that in my life, but she's just vanished, hasn't she? I said, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a strange thing, you know. It's not all I don't know, shadows. You do see them solid.
I've had shadow people in my lounge where I am now. On a night time, they appear going from TV into a wall.
Very, very strange.
I've had loads of things in this house happen to me, but it doesn't. They're playing around with us tonight, spirit.
Oh, definitely. I can feel them here now. They're always in here looking, playing around and doing what they do. It's a shame I can't get that picture up, isn't it? What a pity.
I've just sent it to Rebecca. She said the picture is very bizarre.
Yeah, it's. I've got it in colour, but I think that's more in black and white, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, most of the people in the chat room, I've sent it to them so they can see it themselves.
Oh, lovely.
Wow, the picture is strange. It looks like wispy, bizarre indeed.
And I was using an Olympus OM1 SLR camera at the time. It's my granddaughter by the tree. She's gone all sort of blurry. Then my daughter has got like some sort of energy around her, and then behind her is this whoever looking over towards Capel Green, and I've never been able to replicate that.
No, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just sending it to a few other people who's been in chat room so they can have a look at it for themselves.
I ain't bored and walk to sleep tonight, Bob. And it's funny, you know. No.
Just before we go, tell us about when your show's on.
Okay. Well, the show is on Sunday, 7:00. It's called The Lounge 963. 7:00. Not much I can say really. It's me and Elaine, who is my moderator. Well, she's more than a moderator, very good. And each week we have a different guest. And if you go
similar to mine, yeah,
if you go on my Facebook or onto my YouTube channel, you'll see all the videos on there. It's one of Derek. I've got to tell you this. You know my mind. On the 26th of January, we had Derek Savary on. Anyway, got to laugh, really. It's not. But he said to me, all of a sudden, the lights in his bathroom and that were flashing on and off. They were going wild. That's right. He's gone out there, and anyway, these things are flashing like the clappers, and they're fluorescent lights. And normally, a fluorescent light would just blow, wouldn't it? So he sat down. He said to me, he said, I've got to start praying. I said, that won't do you any good, Derek. You know, they're there. And but then, unfortunately, a couple of weeks later, he passed away.
I know. So sad.
But next week, I'm going to use this video on the show because I won't be here. So I'm going to try and put it on as a rerun of just that bit. I can only have an hour on StreamYard, apparently. So I'm going to put it out as a rerun. And but yeah, come and join us. I mean, I have a different guest. I've got a young guy on there Sunday who lives near the forest. He's had some experiences, but I have all sorts, like you do, Bob. I have different people from America or
oh God, yeah.
Whether they're into spirits or ghosts or.
Yeah, I like to try and get somebody different on every week. Talk about a different subject. But anybody got a story out there, I'll have them on my show.
But sitting here tonight, I feel really strange because I feel like I've just waffled most of the night. Whereas, you know, sitting the other side of it, sitting the other side of the microphone. Is it? Do you see? It's funny. I don't.
As Steph has just said, so I've sent Steph the photo. She says, SLR film camera, brilliant. Proves it can't be manipulated like you can always nowadays. So they're looking at the photo now.
Oh, I can't see that. Room. Oh, right. Oh, no. I mean, you don't know me that well, but I'm honest. I'm not in it for anything. I've had it all my life. I'm not here to make money. I don't make money. I've never made money out of my mediumship. And apparently I was pretty good at it, but I didn't do it for money. And I'm not going to try and pull the wool over people's eyes, Bob. It's not my game. And
no.
Everything I show is what's happened. I wouldn't put anything out there.
Can't change it. Yeah, I know.
But I can't figure out what that was. I just can't figure out what it was.
Very strange.
And I've been back there with my daughter since then. But she don't think nothing of it, really. It was in August. It was an August time, about 8 o'clock in the evening. So that's what I remember about it. Very odd.
No, thank you for coming on the show. It's a very short notice as well.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And Steph just said, no, it's been really interesting, Alex. You have been a great guest. That's Steph.
Thank you. I can't see the messages, so I don't.
Well, if you're going. Anyway, thank you so much for that. Thank you, Alex, for coming on the show. Anyway, and it's always nice to have people in the chat room sending messages and things like that. Yeah, you take care, and hopefully the weather's fine now out here. I'm looking out the window now, sun shining.
Oh, it would be, wouldn't it? Supposed to be going to Rendlesham tomorrow. I just had a message, so yeah.
Brilliant!
So if anyone's around, you know what I don't understand? Elaine puts on there, we're meeting at Rendlesham. So. Nobody turns up. If I put on there, I'm going to charge you 30 quid to take you around. There'd be loads of people there.
I know. So how does that work out?
I don't know. So if anyone's about tomorrow afternoon or 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, come and see us.
Yes.
We'll show you around.
Exactly. Well, I hope you have a lovely weekend.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you again. I'll have to come on your show and talk about Men in Black.
Well, I'll get Elaine to contact you. She does all that.
Yeah.
We'll have you on, Bob.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. No
Well,
problem.
thanks, everyone. And,
Anyway, you take
see
care.
See you soon.
And have a lovely week. Have a lovely weekend at Rendlesham.
Cheers, Bob. Thank you.
Bye.
See you later.
See you later. Just turn it off.